Alright, good day there, lads. Today we're gonna learn things about human figures. So, human figures is apparently a really important aspect in design and in drawing because humans, as you can see, are all around us. A social life consists of humans you see around you. There are like many humans in your families, I think. Human figures. There are various ways to draw human figures. That's the thing about it, because various artists have different styles of drawing human figures. But people expect designers to be like consistent with the human figures. Like every human figure should be the same, but that is not really the requirement. Human figures. Let's get down to the basics. We are gonna learn human figures through the medium of comics. Yeah, kind of sounds interesting. Yeah, it is. So let's get on at it. Cool. Yeah. So the first slide we have is like the basic, like the completely the basic, like human figures kind of thing, right? So cool. Yeah. Right. So basically, as you can see here, if we zoom in a bit. Huh. So as you can see here, this first part, which is like the human anatomy, basically it's like a head, then you've got a neck, shoulders, arms, body, hips, legs, and feet. So in this, basically, just like let's make a darker version of this. Yeah. So this would be the head, this would be the body. Here comes the neck, the shoulders, the arms, the hips, the legs, and the feet. So this is kind of like a basic stick figure kind of thing. As you can see here in this one, I mean, it's not like particularly a stick figure. It's kind of well drawn, but still, it's kind of like a stick figure, right? This thing comes from a stick figure because, as you can see here, there are joints. Joints are an important part of human figure because that indicates the parts where you can just rotate the that part, and the other parts like connected to it will rotate as well. For example, here you have an arm. If you rotate these parts, like these two parts, then this whole thing will move. Like this whole thing will go up, this whole thing will go up. If like it's dependent on you. Then on this arm you have another joint, which is here, which is the elbow. Now the elbow will rotate your hands, right? So now you can move your hands. And then you've got another joint, which is your wrists. Now you can move your palm also anywhere. And then from the wrist you have various joints, the fingers and whatnot. There is like a huge interconnected thing, right? And here also you have your neck. You can get your neck here or here or anywhere. Then you've got your hips here, your pelvis, and your knees. Your knees are kind of like your elbows. Like you can just rotate them around. And then also you've got your feet joints. So that is like basic human anatomy, like how to draw human figures in different poses and different styles. And yeah, so that's the basic stick figure. Cool. So when you draw a stick figure, you have to there isn't any mass, like it isn't looking like a real human being. So then you have these joints. You decide to draw a body and a bit of yeah, and then so basically from this it goes to this. Cool. As you can see in this view, you've got the basic human anatomy, and then as you go down developing the character, you see adding skin and muscles on your body. that's the thing, right? So it becomes a more realistic body, and then down here you've refined everything, and now it looks like an actual body. Now this view which goes down here to here is kind of like the same view, but this is like a front view and this is a side view, and this is kind of like an angled view, right? Now we're going to talk about these lines you see on the faces. So these lines are very important because those indicate like where the character is looking. For example, if you draw lines like this, like the character is looking straight, but what if you wanted the character to look up? So like here, and then you just do this. Now you can do your eyes here, do your nose here, and do your smile here. Now the character looks up. It's a very useful technique, and it's easy to just see like where the character is looking, and use his facial expressions to express things. Alrighty, now let's check out how this kind of human figure thingy is used in comics. Cool. So here we've got a panel from this famous comic called Batman Endgame. It's one of my all-time favorites, written by Scott Snyder. So now if you reduce this transparency of this, yeah. So basically here we've got, let me label this guy is Bruce Wayne, aka Batman. Cool. So let's see how he is actually drawn, and reverse engineer this thing to its core. So now if you see clearly, you've got a head right here. It's basic, quite simple. He's looking here. So yeah. Then you've got his neck. His shoulder is here. You've got his upper arm. Then you've got his lower arm, and then you've got his normal hand. So you've got the joints here, here, and here. Then on the other arm, you've got his upper arm here, then his lower arm, and then his hand goes into his pocket. Then you've got a normal body like structure. Then you've got some hips here, and now those hips goes to the leg. You've got your upper leg here, then you've got your knee here, and yeah. So these are the joints, and obviously you've got your foot here. Like these are 2 feet. Cool. So for example, if you remove this layer, you can see how he is shaped. Now if you see here, he's shaped like this, and if you see here, yeah, so it kind of makes sense. Now you add in the basics thing, the skin, the muscles, and the facial expressions, the hair, the costumes, and all. That'll make the character. Now if you see here, Alfred's daughter, this is Alfred, his butler, and this is his daughter Julia. So she also kind of has like the same kind of anatomy. For example, you've got her face right here. You could use neck, the shoulders, the hands, the wrist. So you've got the joints here. There you go, another hand. Then you get your body, the hip, and the legs. Now the entire legs aren't shown due to the reduction of the panel, but yeah, so like that's also kind of same human figure. It is regardless of the gender, female or male, the figure, the core remains the same. For example, with Alfred, his butler, you get his face down here, you got his neck, you got his shoulders, his arms, you got a joint here, you got a joint here. It's kind of difficult to see because of the holograms here, I understand. Then you've got his whole body, his hips, then his legs, knees, not his foot. Right, cool. So if you notice here, the Alfred in the if you see like the normal, the standing position, let's go back previously to the previous layer here. As you can see, the it is not actually specified here, but when you draw your hands, they should all the hand part, the palm part of your hand should always reach like below, just a bit below your hips, like for example till here at least. So you've got your elbows here and like the lower arm and your upper arm. That is kind of like a rule in like human figure drawing. So now you see, right, and if we get this layer out, you see it's just a bunch of stick figures. But if you hide this layer and get this layered in with all the skins and all the muscles and the coloring and the costumes, it's kind of like a real comic panel. That is what goes on to making a comic scene. Now let's just do another one, which is like a Doctor Strange one. So yeah, this is like a scene from the Illuminati comics, and as you can see, we've got Doctor Strange here, similar anatomy. As you can see here, you've got the face, the neck, the shoulder, the hands, and the other hand, which it goes outside of the panel and then comes in, then the body, and here as you can see you've Ebony Maw with his face here. Now let's angle in the faces. He's seeing straight but he's seeing a bit up, so you kind of have to do this. Yeah, now Ebony Maw, let's draw his face and he's looking a bit downward like this, and then you get his shoulders in, he's got his joints here, then he gets his hand here and another hand just creeping in from the back of Strange. So yeah, if you lose this, you can see the basic human figure here, right? Do you notice? Cool. So these are kind of like the regular human figures. Now let's check out the more simplistic, the more stick figure kind of thing. For example, we've got a comic, we've got a panel, like a comic strip from this famous comic called Cyanide and Happiness. So yeah, you can notice here, this isn't like traditional drawing, like human figure drawings, right? It's just a simple stick figure. For example, you've got a big head, a big body, and teeny tiny arms and some nice legs and a easy peasy face, right? Kind of similar, not a lot but kind of similar, right? So yeah, but people like this kind of art as well. Yeah, people like this kind of art as well, and people love this kind of art as well. Like there's a huge difference in the art, but yeah, people love it. And like, why are we drawing things? For people. That's the thing about, that's the basic thing about art and design. So yeah, this is kind of like an easy, it's a really simplistic form of drawing stick figures in this. Now let's use another comic example, which is called The Magic Stick. It is a very famous comic as well. So for example here, this has more detail into it. As you can see, you've got costumes, you've got more facial expressions, better hair, more footwear, but in this type of comic you can clearly see there's not much detail as much in this type of comic, right? So yeah, it's kind of like your choice on how to draw your human figures, because in the end it all depends on you. And hopefully you learned a lot about human figures from this video, and make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.